Take the axe out. Drift in through the top first. Cut that out, Jacob.
No.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're gonna start off a new video series here with my buddy, John Bradley. John is a professional axe thrower. So in this video series, we are gonna be forging some custom throwing axes and then throw the axes, of course. So John, why don't you just briefly tell everyone what you do?
So what I do is I compete in both the World Axe Throwing League and National Axe Throwing Federation. They're two organizations that have slightly different sets of rules, but they're still fun, so it doesn't make a difference what. Indoors only so far, set up lanes, and you throw axes sort of like bowling in batting cages, kind of hybrid. The axes we're gonna make are two for the NATF, one for Waddle. They both have slightly different variation on the specs, so we're gonna make those fit into that for this episode.
Yeah, so we're gonna make a few different axes and have some fun with it. So
absolutely.
Let's go ahead and plan out a little bit what we're gonna do.
All right.
So I don't know where you want to be for this, Jacob.
I can get up top.
All right, so let's start off by just writing the specs. So we have 3 axes. Start with the weights.
1 pound, 10 ounces.
Okay.
1 pound, 10 ounces.
Okay, 2 of them the same weight.
And then 2 pounds, 8 ounces.
All right.
So we have to have the first one, the blade length will be 4 inches. Second one, 4 1/4 inches for the blade length. And the last one, 4 5/8. The handle length on the
lengths.
first length will be 13.5 overall. This one will be 17 overall. And the last one will be 26 overall length. But probably more of a straighter handle than the
Oh, why did I just write 28?
Yeah, I can leave 28. We'll fix it later.
26 inches. Overall length. Okay.
So yeah, that's the, this is the Waddle one. So they have different, the different
Yeah, let's do WATL.
Yeah.
And this is NATL?
NATF.
NATF.
Yeah, the bottom one's NATF.
F. Cool. So we got 3 different axes.
Yeah, and like these two will be, I actually like the slightly curved handle because when I hold it, I'll show you later, is just like I put my finger on the little nub sticking out, so that's kind of why.
The swell, palm swell on the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, and this one I started using the straight handle because it's like hold it two-handed, so it's a little different. That's why I do the straight.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've seen along the fire axes you have like a beveled on the top and bottom. If we get that in there,
we call that ground side bevels. So
side bevels. They do not need to be sharp, just ground in a little bit.
Right. Yeah, we do that so it goes in easier. So it'll work good for throwing, I'd imagine. So we'll just do side bevels on all of these. All right. Well, let's give it a shot. Let's do it. Okay, so we're ready to start forging now, John. And I'm just gonna kind of guide you through. I'll set everything up and let you push the pedal down for some of these. first step is going to be punching the eye in the axe. So this is the punch, and then this cage catches the block of steel, so otherwise it gets stuck. And this bottle is our punch lube, which helps it not get stuck. If you don't use this, it will break the dies or something that doesn't need to be broken. You see the center punch mark? So I look down. You're going to line the tip of that up. The center punch mark. You have to get it straight this way. So you go a little bit at a time. Go all the way. You got to put the lube back on for the other side too. Now, there's no mark on the other side, but you can see pretty well where it needs to go. Pops it right out. Easy as that. Yep. See how I sort of take a few up and downs for really make sure it's right. And you can use this to cool it down with water, plain water. And squirt some of that on there. It's good. It's easy to use. Now take a look at it before you punch.
Angled off a little bit, so turn it this way more.
Yep. Just make another small dimple and then check it again. Pretty straight. All right, let's get a little bit more lube on there. Right. Just go all the way.
All the way?
Yeah. Keep bottoming it out. There you go. All right. Now same thing, cool it off, lube, and then take your time, make sure it's lined up perfectly. There you go. Oh, you had it the first time.
Too far back.
Easy. Just come right in between those two. Will be it'll be savable. Let's knock it out. There you go. Voila.
That's great.
We'll make that the side you don't see. So on this heat, on this that one's warmest. On this heat, on the two small ones, these two drifts. On the biggest one, we're going to go ahead and use these 3 drifts. Covered in Red Bull. That just sprayed me with oil and Red Bull.
It's like everywhere.
There you go. Okay, so let's take it out. Flip it over. Now press that all the way in. Just keep going. Okay. Now we'll take that out and go through the other side. Take that out. We got one more. A little bit more. Okay. That's it. So that block and the other two blocks are both on the same step now.
Okay.
But because they're different sizes, we drift more or drift less. So at the end of this next heat, it'll look like an axe. It's gonna be drop the drift in, come over here, and we finish drawing out the cheeks of the sides of the axe, and then take the drift out, and then draw out the blade of the axe. We are going to be refining the shape. We're going to use hot shearing and cross-section forming dies and smoothing everything out, refining the shape of the axe before we do some more drifting. So this is where we're going to get our up sweep a little bit more defined and everything. Come over here and watch me on the press. So first we use these dies to flatten it out, squish it out. All right. Then we can use this shear to trim material off. Oops. And then flatten it back out. A little bit more. Oh, that's not good. We are going to be refining the shape. We're going to use hot shearing and cross-section forming dies and smoothing everything out, refining the shape of the axe before we do some more drifting. So this is where we're going to get our up sweep a little bit more defined and everything. So first we use these dies to flatten it out, squish it out. All right. Then we can use this shear to trim material off.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oops. And then flatten it back out. Don't squish quite that hard. You're going to put the drift there and hold it until I get it started. And then we'll both hammer it through. Ready? Now this one, through the bottom, on the press. Now pick that drift up and put it through the top. Now this axe is done with drifting. Okay. Okay. Take it out, come over side one of these. Flip it over. Oh, sorry, no, you're right. Stay right there. Into the press. All the way. There you are. Now we're going to go through the top. Oh my gosh, John. Oh. Hammers are not your friend. All right. Knock it out. Good job. You did it. You did it. Okay, this heat's gonna be 3 things. So I'll take it out, put the blade on that die, bah, 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 bah. It tapers the blade so it's thinner. Then you come over, pinch the pole. You have to be careful with these not to go too far. Little press. You go too far, this will cut the steel in half. Don't do that. And we're gonna come over, logo on the punch press. Done.
Sounds good.
See how that works? Pull. You want to go right up to the eye and make sure this is horizontal. Flip it over, just tap it. That's all it takes, okay? Don't cut it in half. It's done. Looks good. Okay. Okay. That's good. Perfect.
Up there?
Yep. Check it out. It's good. Straightening axes. The most funnest part. I'm going to straighten 2 axes and you'll straighten the 3rd one. They should already be fairly straight the way they are. This will be the final touches. Take the axe out. Drift in through the top first. They're going to put this whole axe on the anvil and you're going to hit right where that ridge line is. All the way down it. Evenly. Flip it over. Evenly. All the way down it. Keep doing that. Just gonna lightly smooth this out again. Right. We're gonna hammer down these lugs tight around the drift. And then flip, same thing.
I'm looking to see the bottom guy can all line up, right?
Yeah, it should all line up in a line, more or less. If it's slightly off, we can straighten it when we put the handle on. All right. So what do you think, John?
It was awesome. It was absolutely incredible.
Was it what you thought it would be?
Yeah. Getting to use the power hammers, getting to swing the hammer, absolutely amazing.
It's pretty cool to see a block of steel go into an axe. And these turned out pretty good. This is it's about 3 pounds right now, or just under 3 pounds, and it'll end up at right around 2.5 pounds. So we will catch back on a part 2 of grinding and heat treating and all that fun stuff. So thanks for following along. If you're not subscribed already, you may consider doing so, and we'll see you next time. Bye.